What's going on, everybody, and welcome into the Browns Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Joey O'Donoghue, and we've got a lot of fun topics to get to here, all about the Cleveland Browns. First off, Adam Schefter gave us a little insight on an inkling he has about the Browns quarterback situation going into Week 1. We'll talk about what that is. Also, Isaiah Bond spoke for the first time as an official member of the Cleveland Browns. Got more injury updates on Shedeur Sanders and Kenny Pickett. How's that going to impact this Saturday's quarterback play? And then a couple other things that are a little bit fun here. Did you know about Joe Flacco? Something maybe you could use as trivia, impress your friends. We'll talk about that. And then a CBS analyst gave a shocking, bold prediction about the Browns' record. We'll talk about that and look at their schedule coming up. But real quick, please smash that subscribe button, y'all. We are almost at 50,000. Each video, we get closer and closer. We're only 163 subs away now, so go ahead, smash that subscribe button for me. We're at 49,837. I believe in us. We can hit the big 50K. All right, here's the update from Adam Schefter himself. He says, I expect the Cleveland Browns to carry 4 quarterbacks on their final 53-man roster. Wait, what? So this is a new development. The Browns might actually keep all 4 of the quarterbacks in contention to start and be the backup. If this is the case, I think that has to stop by like week 4 at the latest. Because it's going to take up roster spots now of guys that have maybe been impressing in preseason that can help fill out defensive depth, right? Like Julian Okwara, who had the big hit on DTR that led to the KJ Henry pick 6 going the other way. Like, there's a lot of roster spots that Cleveland could use and utilize. For example, wide receiver room as well. Gage Larverland, who's been impressing, right? Keeping 4 quarterbacks for that long, I don't know if that's going to help Cleveland long term. Now, if you remember yesterday, we talked about how Stefanski said it wasn't realistic. Came on the show. I told you I think Shedeur Sanders and Joe Flacco need to be on the roster, right? Well, there's new developments now. Big updates from Stefanski when he spoke today. He said everything's realistic other than keeping 90 on the roster. So he clarified his earlier comments where he said it wasn't realistic to have all the quarterbacks. And today he said the only thing that wouldn't be realistic is keeping 90. Now everything's on the table. Stefanski also refused to name a backup quarterback. He said those roles are not given out. They're earned. So I don't know what more he needs to see because I'm telling y'all I think Shedeur's the guy, but it's true, we didn't really see Pickett play at all yet in the preseason. I'll talk about if that's going to happen or not. So he refused to name the backup. And finally, he said that Flacco earned the starting role. He didn't just get it because of injuries. He really liked what he saw from Joe in joint practices and training camp. My first takeaway from this. So this is a real possibility that Cleveland keeps all their quarterbacks on the roster. Stefanski's saying everything's on the table. Everything's realistic. And with the update from Adam Schefter, that Schefter thinks the Browns will actually have all 4 on the roster come week 1, it's something to talk about, right? You look at the depth chart, and the unofficial one came out again. It's still stagnant with Sanders at 4, Flacco at 1, Pickett the 2, Gabriel the 3, and Huntley was brought in as well to get some preseason reps. We'll see if he's still on the roster. That would be even more shocking. But it seems like the estimation from the analyst and now Stefanski today is that it's likely the Browns have all 4 of these guys that were in contention on the roster come week 1. Personally, I think you should at least be trading one of them, if not cutting one of them, when the time comes. Pickett and Gabriel, for example, players that Cleveland went out and traded for Pickett, and they drafted Gabriel in the 3rd round. Can you get something close to that? The problem is, it's like, who's going to do that, right? Is anyone going to give a 3rd-round pick for Dillon Gabriel? Is someone going to match what Cleveland already paid for Kenny Pickett? It's difficult. So I understand why they have to keep them now. It's almost like you're locked into all 4 if you want to keep Shedeur. And this is coming from my perspective of Shedeur is an absolute keep from a box office standpoint and a pure talent, highest ceiling in the room. It's a shocking situation. You never really hear about this, even in Cleveland. When Baker was the bona fides, when Baker was the backup, and then became the starter, they really only had Tyrod Taylor as another player in contention. Now it's 4 guys, and they're all likely going to be on the roster. It's kind of wild, but like I said, I do think that at some point in the season, this needs to end so that other players can earn their way on the depth chart, and we don't have 4 quarterbacks taking up 53-man roster spots. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments. How are we feeling? Should the Browns keep all 4 of these quarterbacks all season long, or at least until week 1? Type Y for yes in the comments. Type N for no. It's an intriguing situation, and I want to hear from y'all. Should Cleveland keep them all on the roster? Speaking of our quarterbacks, update on Shedeur Sanders. He will not practice on Tuesday with that oblique, and the Browns said that we'll see about tomorrow. So he's out there, he's moving, he's throwing. Not really going to practice, though. There is optimism that Shedeur will be able to play Saturday against the Rams, so that will be something to tune into, Cleveland fans. Update on Kenny Pickett. Pickett returns to 11 on 11s, the first time in over a month that Pickett is able to do that. He had been nursing that hamstring injury. This might even allow Pickett to play on Saturday. Will we finally see Kenny in the rotation, as well as Shedeur? And even Flacco said he hopes to get reps against the Rams. So the QB battle is just going to keep heating up, Browns fans. That's why it's the talk of the offseason right now for the Browns. Another Browns news in the offseason, Isaiah Bond has finally landed and signed. And he spoke today and said in his opening statement that since day one, I have proclaimed my innocence, and I stand here today in that same way. I'm very excited to get to know my teammates and show the Cleveland Browns community why they made the right decision. Bond also commented on the opportunity to play Saturday, and he said, you'll have to see on Saturday. That's the goal. Like I said, I'm here to play. Now I'm really excited about Isaiah Bond. I like the answers he's giving. He's connecting his faith to a lot of it. He's standing 10 toes down that he's not guilty, and he's here to play, and he's here to grow and learn. So I like a lot what I'm hearing from the kid. I like how Andrew Berry was confident in the due diligence that Cleveland did and even received the results of a administered polygraph test. So I'm really hyped about Bond and his character, the way he's talking right now, and also his football ability. He said that he's not just a fast guy either, right? He said that his fastest 40 he ever ran was 4.2. That's got ridiculous blazing speed that's going to help Cleveland's wide receiver room. But he said that's not what he needs to be known for. He's also a capable route runner. And if you watch his tape, he's open on a lot of plays where he doesn't get the ball. So he seems like an all-around talented receiver that was likely going to go rounds 1 to 3 in the draft, but due to the legal concerns, he went undrafted, and it's kind of a steal for Cleveland. He also showed that he admired Cleveland's number 1, Jerry Jeudy, their Alabama connection, and he said he really grew up watching Jerry Jeudy, loves his playing style, so I think there's going to be chemistry with Bond and the other Browns receivers, and that's going to be a scary duo, Jerry and Bond. Whew, get ready, Browns fans. And it's going to be so good that a CBS analyst dropped this hot take saying the Browns could be a 9 or 10 win team. Whoa! Browns fans, get hyped. 9 or 10 win team. Are we back? Are the Browns back to the playoffs? 2023, Cleveland was in the playoffs. And who was behind the helm at the end of it? Old Joe Flacco. This is why the analyst said it, actually. It was right after the Browns named Flacco as their week 1 starter. Let's take a look at the Browns' schedule. Is it really possible? There's winnable games on here, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I always like to say when I'm chalking off the schedule preseason that we can split division games. Like, I think we beat the Bengals at least once. I think we even beat the Ravens at least once, and they might be the best team in the AFC this year. The Steelers, we could sweep if we really wanted. But, again, I'll just go ahead and split all the division. So I say you could win 3 divisional games, and then you got opponents like what? The Dolphins, we're smoking them. The Patriots, we can beat them. The Jets, we're smoking them. The Raiders are a little bit underrated, but that's a winnable game. Like, if you chalk it up, the Bears are winnable. The Titans are winnable. The Vikings will be in London. Tune in. I'll be live, hopefully with producer Reed. That's like 9 wins right there, right? Count it up. Count it up, folks. It's actually possible. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say Cleveland's going to win 10 games, but just like the CBS analyst said, I think they could. Maybe it's the rookie class. Maybe it's all the rookies we brought in. Maybe it's the guys we're finally signing as their charges get dropped. I don't know. But the Cleveland has had a good team built around the quarterback position for a while, so it's absolutely possible that Cleveland could make some noise this year, and we should be excited about it as the Dog Pound faithful. But I want to know, how many games do y'all think the Browns will actually win in 2025? Drop a number in the comments, your honest prediction. How many games does Cleveland win? You saw the schedule, though. There's teams that they can easily beat. That's all I'm going to say. But one thing that might impact it is this update we literally just got as I was getting ready to film this show from Mary Kay, she says that Browns cornerback Denzel Ward injured his right shoulder in a one-on-one drill today and went inside, was in pain. There's no update from the team yet. A crushing blow. Hope it's not serious at all. But as she said, no update right now from the team. We'll keep you covered on the Browns report right as we hear about it. But we pray that this is not serious at all. Denzel Ward, one of the best corners in the league. All right, a little fun note here about Joe Flacco. Did you know? You probably know that Joe's been around for a while, right? But check this out. Joe Flacco was a rookie in 2008, and we were able to say for his debut game that he was about to take on the Bengals. Well, that sentence is true right here, right now, in 2025. Joe Flacco will start against the Cincinnati Bengals many, many years later. How cool is that? Look at young Joe. And he was in a Ravens uniform. Now he's going to face the Ravens in week 2, which he said he's very excited to go back to Baltimore for. It's just so funny how time works. A cool little tidbit. Tell your friends about it. 2008, Joe was starting against the Bengals. He's doing it now for Cleveland against Cincinnati. If you made it to the end of the show, we appreciate you here on the Browns Report. Go ahead, drop me a follow on X at Joey070. We'll keep chopping it up about all things Cleveland Browns, and we'll give you the best news and analysis as it comes out. See ya.